In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're going to talk about antidepressant medications.
That's a bomb.
Now, here's the thing. I think we did an episode on this going way back. I mean, it's been years.
Okay.
But I thought it's worth revisiting because, again, I get probably a majority of my clients are on some type of psychotropic medications. And a lot of times it's very confusing for people, especially with antidepressants, because there are different classes, they work in different ways. So we're going to cover that today in case maybe you take an antidepressant yourself, maybe you've considered it. But we're going to go over what the types are, how they work, and why they work.
All right.
And we'll let you get more comfortable if you happen to choose to take an antidepressant.
Okay.
And as usual, as we've done every episode, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit.
Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist, and we are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
It's been way too... No, wait.
Oh, it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Been a week, Matt.
I love it.
Yeah, that's Matt Fox, the other voice you hear.
Hello, David.
We're hanging out here in the Podcast Your Voice, the Palatial Studios in Southfield, Michigan.
I love
doing
that.
a podcast, having a drink.
I love that word.
Yes.
Drink.
Oh, palatial. I thought you enjoyed. Have a palatial drink. I don't know if there is such a thing, but let's do it. So big shout out to Podcast Your Voice, by the way. If you're interested in doing a podcast, I'm telling you, there are podcasts for everything. I just started, Matt, and I don't know. So I'll go on a sidebar here real quickly because I just got hooked into watching YouTube videos of Dungeons and Dragons.
YouTube videos?
Deborah Ann Wool. Do you know who she is? She's in Daredevil.
Okay.
Redhead. She was also in True Blood.
Yes.
She runs this involved D&D group.
Really?
And they do the whole campaign. And they have every episode they have a different guest in.
And this is a YouTube channel?
It's a YouTube channel. I think it's called The Dungeon Dudes. She's the dungeon master. She runs these groups, but they have like different people come in like in each episode. The last episode, the finale of the season was Will Wheaton.
Oh, wow.
Came in to do the finale of the campaign.
And I'm going to roll.
Yeah.
And okay, I rolled an 18.
I rolled an 18, but my history check says -3, so it's really a 15.
So I'm going to parlay with my right hand, and with my left hand, I'm going to duck and again parlay, and with my other hand.
It's really interesting. It's in fact there's a great video, an interview she was doing with John Bernthal.
Wow.
And he asked her about it. He says, "So what's with this Dungeons and Dragons?" She says, "Oh, you'd love it. Let's do it now." And she just goes through the scenario with him.
That's fun.
And he was just so like engaged. He was like, "Really?"
Wow.
It's like acting. She
Yeah.
goes, exactly.
No, that whole point of Dungeons and Dragons, going way back into the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You have your
It was-
dungeon master.
Yeah.
You've got you got your character. You got his attributes all laid out. You got
Uh-huh.
his dexterity. You got all that laid out.
I've never played, but now I want to play.
If you go back to the beginnings of D&D,
Mhm.
it took you sometimes days to create a character.
Yeah.
Because you wanted the perfect character, the perfect mage, the perfect knight, the perfect any of those characters that are in there. You wanted to be able to kick ass, is what it came down to.
And she brought up a good point, because John Bernthal said, because she said, well, we do a whatever history check, and he goes, well, how do I know what that is? He goes, you have a character sheet, and it gives all your rankings. He goes, well, why don't I just be good at everything?
Right.
She said, well, then the game's not really fun because there's no challenges.
Everybody starts at level 1.
Yeah.
All right.
And there you have strengths and you have weaknesses. That's the whole point of it.
That's what rolling the dice means. When you roll a die, that means that's the number for your character that you start with, and then you build from there.
Yeah. So anyway, just a little side note. I don't know how I got off on that.
I just totally nerded out with you.
No,
so.
I know. It's crazy. So I've been looking at that, and I'm not sure why that came up.
I don't know either, but
it's okay.
You just said
Let me tell you,
sidebar,
folks,
and I said okay.
where you can find me. First of all, my website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check it out, especially now where we're getting close to prom and grad season. So shows are booking, shows are filling up, dates are filling up. So if you need somebody for your after prom or your post grad night party, now's the time to book it, lock it in. You can have a quote in seconds. You can book online within the same amount of time, and you'll be guaranteed a spot as long as the date's open. So that's the challenge, because dates are filling up. So check that out ASAP. My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno. HYPNO. And as we've done every episode, going back to number 1, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you'll receive a text message with a downloadable PDF. It's just a brief 2-page hypnosis guide. It kind of gives you an overview of hypnosis, dispels some myths and misconceptions. And it will also give you a Google link to my business page where you can leave a review. And again, reviews are so important. They just help get the message out to other people, and help grow the podcast and grow my business and grow my
listening base.
Yeah, my listening base. And that's really what reviews really help. So wherever you're listening, whatever podcast platform you're on, leave a review there as well, because again, any review on any platform, it just helps and helps grow the channel.
Thank you.
Alrighty. It is time, Matt.
Oh, it better be who I think it is.
I don't think so.
That's how winning is done.
So I try to read your mind, David.
You do. Well,
And
I'm kind of interested to see who you thought it should be.
I really want Lindsey Vaughn to be your winner of the week, because that lady is just a phenom in her sport.
Yeah.
And to do what she did at her age, she's not old.
She's close to 40.
She is 40.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I knew she was right around there. Yeah.
But to do what she did at her age and just put herself out there, she did not need, and I'm going to steal your winner of the week here. She did not need to prove herself.
No, she's done it all already.
She's already done it. Her legacy is intact.
Yeah.
She got out there to prove to her own self that she could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to do it, and she challenged herself. That is and then
she wiped out.
I don't care that she wiped out. It wasn't that she did. It was the flag. She just went 5 inches too far and hit the flag. She put herself out there to prove to her own self that she could do something, and things happen.
Sounds like a winner to me.
Exactly. So, but that's who I wanted my winner of the week to be.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay.
Let's go on.
Yeah. You could do winner of the week on Man Cave.
I could.
You could.
That would really take the fellas for a ride.
All right. So let's talk about our winner of the week.
Yes, please.
A woman, some 8 months pregnant, has a total stranger to thank for her life and that of her baby. When she was driving down I-95 in Martin County, Shedley Apollon remembered feeling dizzy. It was her 29th birthday. She was probably in a good mood, but biology and fate had a wicked gift in store for her.
A wicked gift?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The dizziness grew until she lost control of her car, which trundled off the highway and into a pond. Confused, she called her fiance and told her she was in the water, confusing him in turn. WPBF reports that the phone went dead at that moment, just when water began seeping in through the holes under the pedals, and the car began to tilt forward into the brown water. I tried to open my driver's side door and my passenger door, but they were both submerged in water, so I couldn't get out, she said. I started feeling water in my feet, so I started to panic. That's when a good Samaritan on scene, Logan Hayes, stripped off his excess layers, took a running jump, and swam to the car to open the back door before it too became submerged.
I didn't know Wolverine had a last name.
Maybe it was. He just like slashed the door open. When he swung that door open, I was like, "You are an angel," Apollon said. That's the story.
Wow. So a stranger saved
So
a
a stranger
woman.
saw this car. Oh, wait, no, there's more. Sorry, because there was a title here.
Okay.
It's almost impossible to open a car door whilst the car is sinking.
Yes.
The force needed to disperse the water is beyond what most humans can create with their arms or even their legs.
Wow.
The best chance to save your life, if you know for certain your car is going into the water, is open the door on the way in or roll down all the windows, which, like the door, can't be opened once they're taking on water.
That's why there are contraptions. There's like little hammers with a
Yep,
like a ball peen, but it's a pinpoint.
Yep,
of metal,
and
it will break the window from the inside.
If not, the only other chance is to smash the windows or hold your breath until the pressure in the cabin equalizes with that of the water, at which point the door will open easily. That was proven on Discovery Channel's Mythbusters to be beyond the limit of most people's lung capacity. So that's the thing, because as soon as that water starts getting up near your face, you're going to panic.
Oh, of course.
It's just human nature, unless you prepared for it, unless you've done training. Navy SEALs training, they do this. There's a show, I don't know what it's called. My wife watches it, but I jump in every once in a while, and it's like celebrities doing these military trainings.
Oh yeah. There was like it was a Fox thing last season.
Yeah.
Like that.
So one of the challenges is you get in a car and they submerge it, and you have to get out.
Okay, so what if you don't have that little hammer contraption with the metal piece with the point on it?
Well,
what do you use?
Well, I don't know.
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay, Matt. Go ahead.
On the back of your seat, there is a headrest. You remove the headrest, and what's
those two metal.
Correct. That's
metal
what you.
sliding
That's what
things.
you use to break said window.
Okay.
Because those are you can put enough
Well,
force.
and
in
I'm
the water.
assuming that people feel like just waiting is wasting time.
Of
Because
course.
again, instinct is we have to get out of here now. And to wait for that water to come up and that pressure to equalize, again, you have to hold your breath for minutes.
Your automatic windows will not come
And
down.
again, when you're in that panicked state, you're not going to be able to breathe. You're not going to be able to hold breath.
Ask any scuba diver, David. What the one thing that you do not want to do when submerged underwater. You're 15 feet underwater. You're a scuba diver. You run out of air. What do you not do?
Just go right to the surface.
You don't panic
because you get the bends.
You just don't panic.
Yeah.
You take a quick second, because that's all you have. Gather your surroundings and realize, yes, this is bad. I need to act quickly. What do you do as a person who has run out of air 15 feet underwater?
Boy, okay.
What's the last thing that they should do is panic.
Yeah.
Because if you panic, you're dead.
Yeah. Well, of course.
So
and it's easy to say that until you're in that situation.
and
and most of us can't really comprehend the fear that would. I mean, we can guess, but
so I will share with you this experience that I had.
Yeah.
So I'm in scuba diving training.
Yep.
And we do this technique that's called buddy breathing, where two people breathe off the same tank, the same tank.
Yep.
Because you have a different respirator or whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But my buddy, the dive master that was with me, he said, I'm going to share. And it's a hand motion that you do underwater because it's all hand signals.
Right.
He put his hand to his mouth and he said, me, and then he put his hand towards me, meaning I'm going to buddy breathe. My response was okay in the signal. Okay. So he does that. He goes to clear and there's nothing there. We're 15 feet underwater.
Yeah.
He looked at me. His eyes got really wide. My eyes got really wide. I took my hand and I put it across my throat saying, I'm out. I'm going up. And I pointed my thumb up towards the surface of the water. I'm out of air. I'm going up to the surface. And his response was okay with the hand signal. And what we did to salvage from the bends was to say the word ah. How long can you say ah for? Just try it. And that's how we ascended to the surface of the water, was by saying the word ah. That is the technique that scuba instructors will teach people so they don't end up with the bend, so they can salvage the air in their lungs as they're ascending.
Yeah.
So they don't get the bends.
Okay.
It's an experience. I've had it.
Well, yeah. And if you've trained for it, yeah, absolutely. That's invaluable.
But somebody who is a novice, if you will, right?
Yes.
I can understand where she's coming from.
Paramedics arrived and rushed her to the hospital, where it was determined the stress of the near-death experience called for an emergency C-section.
Oh, my goodness.
Apollon's fiance arrived at the hospital after the birth of their daughter, Ivory, at 7 weeks early, weighing 3 pounds, 14 ounces. She describes Ivory as being her miracle baby, and it's easy to see why. Hayes, the rescuer, said he was just happy to be at the right place at the right time.
So it was a water birth.
It was a water labor, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Either way.
Winner of the week?
It's winner of the week for sure.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Matt.
So we're talking about antidepressants?
Yes.
So my therapist told me that I need to stop making up scenarios in my head. Well, that's odd because I don't even have a therapist.
That's fantastic.
What do you got?
Hold on. I'm trying to, my pages are out of order.
Okay. You're
all
good.
right. Here we go.
There you go.
All right. So we are talking to, oh, wait a minute. We forgot.
So back to it.
There we go.
Thank you, Glenn.
So we're talking about antidepressant medications. So here's the thing. This topic that we're talking about affects millions of people. And still, even though people are taking antidepressants and they're very commonly prescribed, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of misinformation, and there's really kind of a stigma associated with taking psychotropic medications.
Yeah.
Whether that be for depression or anxiety or bipolar disorder. You know, when people tend to have a reaction of being judgmental when somebody says, oh yeah, I'm taking antidepressants. They look at them as kind of a leper or something, but there is some stigma attached to it. So if you know somebody, if you yourself have never taken them, but you know somebody who has, there are probably questions that come up. And these are the questions that a lot of clients ask before they start taking antidepressant medications. I mean, one of the questions is, do they actually work? Because, again, not to get off on the conspiracy theory train, but a lot of people are very suspicious of medications in medical professionals.
It's a stigma.
Yeah.
It's a big stigma out
I know.
there. It really is.
Yeah. Another question that clients ask, are antidepressants addictive?
Well, they can be.
In the traditional sense of the word addictive, no, but you may come to depend on
that's the
feeling
word
the way you do.
The dependability of the medication. This is, I need this to feel XYZ, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another question that people ask, will it change my personality? And I understand that question, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I don't think your person, if you're feeling depressed and then you're not feeling depressed, chances are it's going to help your personality in a way, because you don't have this pressure now of this weight of depression keeping you down. Another question that a lot of people ask is, am I going to have to take this the rest of my life? And these are all valid questions.
Correct.
For anybody just starting to use or take antidepressant medication. So here's the thing. I'm a licensed therapist and hypnotherapist. I work with people every day who have these exact questions and concerns and people who take antidepressant medication.
Mhm.
So here's the thing. I am not a medical doctor. So the information I'm giving you is readily available online, but this is not medical advice. Definitely, if you have a therapist or a doctor, that's who you need to discuss this with. I'm not going to recommend anybody take anything specific because, again, it's very individualized based on your own physiology.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm. Mhm.
So one of the big things that people don't know is that antidepressants were discovered by accident. They didn't make a plan to say, hey, we need a medication to treat people's depression. That was never the case.
Kind of like Botox with cerebral palsy.
Well, or ED drugs that were originally designed to be heart medications.
Right.
Same type of thing with antidepressants.
Oh, my heart's going to explode, but my penis could be
right. Yeah, my heart might be bad, but again, you get
Might
the
as well-
added benefit.
Might as well go out smiling, you know.
So before the 1950s, treatments for severe depression were really limited.
Mhm.
Often people with depression in the early 20th century were hospitalized. They just put them in the hospital for depression. So talk therapy was just kind of developing during this time, influenced by, again, big names like Sigmund Freud. But there were no medications at that time to specifically address or treat depression. So in the 30s and 40s, the one thing that people were subject to or that physicians were using was ECT, which is electroconvulsive therapy, shock therapy.
Yeah, electroshock therapy.
Electroshock therapy.
Okay.
And honestly, electric shock therapy is still used today, although very rarely,
And what
in
scenario?
treatment-resistant cases of depression.
And so that's a scenario?
Yeah, that is a scenario where, let's say somebody's been depressed and suicidal, and they've tried different types of medications and nothing seems to work. Then yeah, definitely ECT can be something that could help. Again, it's not nearly as widely used as it used to be back in the 30s, 40s, or even 50s, but it still is out there.
And I'm curious, at what point does a therapist or a neurologist say electroshock therapy is what this person needs?
I would say, again, just based on my professional experience, it would be somebody who's been working for an extended period of time trying to address their depression with therapy, with antidepressant medications, sometimes with anti-anxiety medications, because a lot of times these are co-occurring conditions.
Mhm.
And somebody who's always anxious is bound to be depressed and vice versa.
There's
a lot of overlap.
It's so archaic to me.
It does.
In
It
this
does
day and
seem
age,
archaic. It does.
seems
It really seems
so
archaic. Yes. So in the 50s, doctors were treating tuberculosis patients with a drug called I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. I should have wrote it phonetically.
No, you're okay.
Iproniazid.
Okay.
Iproniazid. And they noticed something unusual, that people started becoming happier. Their moods started to change for the more positive.
From the ECT?
They become from this tuberculosis drug.
Okay, thank
you. The imeprazine. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this one more time because I think I'm getting it wrong. Iproniazid. Okay.
Okay.
They became more energetic. They became more socially engaged. So it wasn't designed as a mood medication, but it had mood elevating effects to it.
To keep them from coughing.
Yeah. So this led to physicians or doctors or the medical community developing the first class of antidepressants, which are called MAIOs.
Yes, we've heard.
I'm sorry, MAOIs.
MAOIs. You've heard that acronym many times. Yes.
So what that stands for is monoamine oxidase inhibitors. Around the same time that this imeprazine or the other medication was being developed, another drug called imipramine was developed, and it became the first tricyclic antidepressant, or TCA. Now, when I talk about tricyclic, don't just ignore that. That's just based on the class of the medication. Okay. So again, the very first antidepressant medications were not invented for depression. They were invented for TB.
And
then the doctors kind of took it from there. So let's talk a little bit. How do antidepressants work? And this can get a little bit, well, we're going to get into it. And there's probably, we'll have to explain a little bit because there are different classes of this medication and they work a little bit differently.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of simplify it just for this podcast so that you can understand it. So your brain works with electrical impulses. That's how our brain functions. They're electrical impulses that causes brain activity.
Your brain
that
never
allows our brains to work.
Your brain never stops activating.
Right.
Whether you're awake, sleeping, it's always active.
Yep. So the way your brain communicates is through chemicals, which are called neurotransmitters.
Mm-hmm.
So the big three that we're concerned with as far as depression goes are serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine.
So you see these commercials and they say it blocks certain, right?
Yes.
It blocks certain neuro.
Well, we're going to get into that because that's these different classes of medications and how they work, and we'll get into that because there's one specifically that's meant to block, and I'll explain that.
Okay, fair enough.
So neurons in your brain, they communicate around these tiny gaps. And the best analogy I can give and the way I explain it to clients is think of a spark plug.
Mm-hmm.
Spark plug is, and if you know what a spark plug is, there's this little gap and there's a spark that jumps across that gap. And if you're a car guy, if you're a mechanic, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These have to be set right. If spark plugs, if the points aren't set, or if the gap isn't set right,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to function well.
What if you drive an electric vehicle?
Well, then we don't need it.
That's why it's like spark plug. What the fuck
I
is
know,
a spark
I know.
plug?
But I mean, most people kind of get the concept. It's a spark that bridges a gap. That's exactly the way our mind works.
Thank you.
That's how it processes. That's how it functions. So what happens is once we release that neurotransmitter, it crosses that gap and then it binds itself to the next neuron up.
Mm-hmm.
Normally whatever's left over gets reabsorbed back in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, again, I want to use the engine thing because it's just an analogy that fits. The spark plug fires, it ignites all the gas in that chamber, and it uses that force to drive the piston. Whatever's left over gets funneled out. Same thing in your brain.
An exhaust, right?
So your neurons fire, you use some of this chemical, but there's still some chemical left. So what happens to that?
Where does it go?
Well, if it isn't absorbed quickly, most of it stays active in the synapses. It kind of stays there for use.
It's just firing and firing.
Yes.
And it just continues.
So here's what happens. Most antidepressants, or many, work by blocking that reuptake. So instead of pulling all that leftover neurotransmitter back in,
Mm-hmm.
it leaves it out there so it can continue to fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's kind of the most simplistic way I can put it. So based on that, there are medications, antidepressant medications called SSRIs.
Mm-hmm.
These are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. It's a very complicated way of saying it just keeps more neurotransmitters active in your brain
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being sucked back up.
It's continuous.
Yes. So SSRIs, here's some examples. And everybody has heard of these medications. I'm sure you know.
Mm-hmm.
Prozac,
Mm-hmm.
Zoloft,
Mm-hmm.
Lexapro.
Those are the three big ones.
These are all, and there are tons of different antidepressant medications, but these are the most popular ones. So these medications specifically block that serotonin reuptake, so it stays active in your brain. All right. They became popular in the late 80s and 90s
Mm-hmm.
because the medical community felt like these were safer than the older type, the MAOI inhibitors, which works a little bit differently.
Or ECTs.
Or shock therapy. Exactly. So they became much more popular in the 80s and 90s because they became safer and they replaced that older type of antidepressants that were developed back in the 50s. Here's the common side effects, though, with antidepressants. And many people kind of say, I don't want to take this because one...
Wait. Anal leakage?
No.
No! No! Don't shut me up!
It's just one of those things that's
What in blazes are you talking about?
it happens.
So it
all
could
right?
happen because you get nausea. That
Yeah.
could cause that.
Uh-huh.
Headaches,
Uh-huh.
sleep changes, sexual side effects,
ED.
ED. Yep. That's again a common thing with antidepressant medications.
Now you're treating a symptom with a symptom.
right. Now here's the question though: which symptom is more severe?
Fair.
I mean, if somebody is severely depressed and they're suicidal, then ED is probably the least of your concerns at that
What
point.
if they're a sex addict?
Well, they have many more things to think about and worry about.
There's so much involved,
I know.
man.
There is. But here's the important thing about any antidepressant: it's not physiologically addictive. Now, when I say that, people are going to say, "Well, what happens if you stop taking it?"
Well,
but here's the thing:
Mm-hmm.
anytime you're taking any medication and you just stop, there's going to be a physiological reaction to it. Some very little, some a lot. So it's different from addiction, though. It's just your body readjusting to not having that.
Okay.
So we have to make that definite, separation of those things.
Okay.
It's not technically physiologically addictive, but discontinuing it just out of the blue is not good for you because your physiology has to adjust.
They say quitting cold turkey is the worst thing you can do. You have to come off of said medication.
I would say any medication you take, you probably need to wean off just to be safe.
Yes.
Because when your body's used to something and you abruptly stop it, there's going to be a physiological reaction to it.
Talk to anybody that's ever quit smoking cold turkey.
Yep. Yes, it's that withdrawal symptoms.
It's
are
withdrawals.
brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As a former cigarette smoker, the withdrawals are absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And there are ways to combat said symptoms neurologically, psychologically.
Right.
Like, okay, eat carrots. It's a crunchy vegetable, right? But there's so much more when it comes to the human brain. There's so much more involved. There's a lot involved.
Yeah.
Because we've only tapped into 10% of the brain.
Oh, yeah.
And we know nothing about what's in our heads.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do, folks. There's a lot of information left, and we're going to go to part 2 for this episode.
That went quick.
Coming up, it did go quick. It was kind of crazy, but we're going to talk more. So we left off on the SSRIs. We're going to pick it back up there on next episode. If you're on Facebook Live, joining us live, stick around. We're going to do another episode. If you're listening on whatever platform you're on, jump ahead to the next episode. If it's not there, it will be there Tuesday or Thursday.
All right. Who we saving today?
Before we go, Minnie needs a home.
Minnie as in Mannie.
Minnie.
Okay.
Minnie.
All right. Give it. Come on. Show her. Oh, come on. The bows.
I know.
Come on.
Look at that.
Is that a terrier mix? Is she a terrier?
Cavalier Chihuahua mix.
Ooh, even better.
Female, 14 pounds. Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly, unknown. Kid friendly, yes.
Most Cavaliers are cat friendly. I speak from experience.
So this is just a small. She was born in 2022, so she's still only 3 years old.
Put the picture back up there.
And Minnie needs a home.
Come on.
Look at that.
How could you not?
I know.
How old is she?
She won't take up 3 years old.
Oh my goodness. She's perfect.
I know.
God, look at the coloring on her toes. Oh my goodness. She's beautiful.
It's crazy.
All right.
Minnie needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Take Minnie home. Put her on your lap. She'll love it.
Please.
Yeah. She's only 14 pounds. You can put her in your coat. Take her with you. Whatever. Anyway, DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. Check it out.
Thank you.
All righty, folks. That is our show for today. Change your thinking. Change your life. Laugh hard. Run fast. Be kind. We'll see you next time.